Oh boy, this one is going to be controversial. So, I was just screwing around with some guys in Superman's chat, just talking about some stuff, and the idea was brought up that I should make a tier list. And I think at first it was of a joke, or it was a joke because I've been known to have very, very controversial opinions about champions and where they lie. So today I'm going to humiliate myself by making these opinions public. So I spent a little bit of time today and I put together this tier list of mystics, and I'm going to have a top 10 and then 4 honorable mentions, just because they're 4 champs that are so close to the top 10. And I believe after the first 14, there's like a massive drop off until other champions become anywhere near as good. So I do feel like the top 14 it's kind of justified. But outside of the top 10, the 4 roughly in order, but you could like rearrange them and it wouldn't be a big deal. Same as the one in number 10. I actually had 5 that were like really close and then an obvious top 9. So the 10th one I had a little trouble with. But yeah, let's start out. So we're going to be starting out today with the honorable mentions. And the first honorable mention is, do I have this champ as a 6-star? I do. This is going to be Mephisto. Mephisto is an awesome champion who has really a lot of use in Alliance War, Path 9, Section 1. Now they just made Node 21 hazard shift also, which means there are 5 nodes on the map that can be hazard shift. Of course, you can only have 4 of them fought by one person, because if you were to take node 49, then the boss would no longer have hazard shift. But yeah, he is double immune. I think he's double immune. I think he is. Either or maybe he purifies them. But either way, Mephisto is an awesome champion who has solid incinerate damage, solid healing, great power drain, passive damage, power gain. He's just got a lot to him, and he's a very simple champion. He does one thing, and he does one thing very, very well. So he's taken that honorable mention spot. And the next one is going to be a champ that I really think is very, very overrated. Other people might have this guy as high as 6th, 7th place. This is Longshot. I do have a 6-star Longshot. I just straight up don't think he's a good champion. I've never seen the hype. I watch the videos. They don't impress me. Period. Not much to say about that guy. He's kind of a nothing champion. Next, a champ I absolutely adore, but there's no possible way that I could justify putting this champ any higher without getting ridiculed. And that is going to be the Hood. He is an awesome standalone champion with solid nullify, shock damage, regeneration, and he's a great synergy for both Ghost and Kingpin. So once he does get that buff back, I think he's going to jump maybe even into the top 5, 6, 7. I really think he has a shot of getting that high. But yeah, as of right now, I don't think he's a top 10. Now we will go on to the final honorable mention before we get into the top 10, a champ I do not have as a 6-star, and that is going to be Mojo. So I had a huge debate amongst myself, mostly, about who is going to be number 10, Mojo or the champion I ultimately end up putting there. And ultimately I ended up choosing that champion, which pushes Mojo just barely under top 10. I'd say he's number 11. I've made YouTube videos on Mojo before. He's hit 250k special 3s. He's just an unreal champion, who honestly, I think that what he does in the game, it's kind of unique, but I think that the way that he goes about shutting down these buffs is just a less efficient way than a bunch of the other champions, which is why he's not that low. Awesome champion, very annoying defender, lots of attack damage if you can play him properly. You put on that MODOK synergy, he's got that incinerate on the heavies like Domino. he's a great champion. He is a very good champion. But he does not crack the top 10. So now let's get into the top 10. This is a champ I have as a 6-star. And in 10th place, a champ I am taking to rank 3 soon. Not right away, soon. Is Dragon Man. Dragon Man is a great champion with lots of passive damage when you're in the corner. Incinerates, Furies on the L2. Just a lot of damage. And you gain power so fast by using that special 3 to get those power gain buffs. He's just really solid. And I love Dragon Man. Very also an annoying defender. But this is strictly an attacker list. Now, this one's going to be controversial. I don't think any other person in their right mind would have this champion in the top 10, let alone at number 9. This is going to be Man-Thing at number 9. Nope. I am dead serious. I honestly think Man-Thing is better than those first 5 champions I mentioned. And that is just because of the absolutely underrated, criminally underrated cycle that exists by using the special 1 and then using a heavy attack in combination with Mystic Dispersion. It is just an unreal combo, and I haven't tested it out perfectly. I know that Mystic Dispersion 4 definitely recycles. I don't know if if Mystic Dispersion 3 does. I think it's only 4, but I could be completely wrong. But yeah, Man-Thing has great damage. When he's duped, he has the Fury buff when he's above 50%, and the regen when he's below 50%. So really, you're not at any risk of dying with him. And even if you get hit with Man-Thing, it doesn't matter because he's immune to extra damage from critical hits. He's going to take the base amount. So yeah, Man-Thing, a champion I just absolutely adore. So he is going to make number 9. Now let's go for number 8. Another champ I have is a 6-star, Sim Supreme. And Sim Supreme is a great champion who has his use is very focused on a small portion of the game. Specifically, I don't even know, like against champions that have a lot of buffs at one specific time, and then using a special 3, doing all that extra burst damage, and then getting that bleed, armor break, and then recycling L2s, you're getting power back. He just basically has Mystic boosts on in his base abilities. He's a great champion. He's a solid option for Mags bosses. He is the second best option in the game for Howard the Duck. What's that guy's name? The Abyss guy. I'm just completely blanking on that champion's name. Venom the Duck. Okay, I don't know how I forgot that. But yeah, he is the second best option in the game for Venom the Duck and Abyss. He can solo it. And yeah, he's a great champion. I love my Sim Supreme. Now we'll get into number 7, a champion, I think the only one on this entire list not available as a 6-star. And that is actually going to be Magic. Magic is just a absolute powerhouse on her own. She does benefit from the synergies with, I believe it is one with Morningstar and one with Warlock, where she just gets a lot of extra damage. One while she's in Limbo, she gets some extra damage, which is really nice for one of them. And Magic is literally the number 1 best champion in the game at Powerlock. No one does it better. She is a great option for a lot of bosses, actually. I've seen people in Tier 1 use Magic for Terex bosses multiple times. I've seen Kenobi do it. She's a great option for that. Power Stack Doom, she's the second best option in the game behind Quake. And she just does a lot. Hopefully she'll be available as a 6-star soon. I know I would go for that featured like crazy if she was in it to try to get her, because I use her all the time in War and I love her. Now, another champion, number 6, is going to be Diablo. So this is a champion that I'm aware is very good, and I've seen the gameplay. I don't see the hype myself personally, but I do have to put him at number 6 just because I'm aware of what he can do. And though I don't think he has a spot in the game right now as like beating out these top 5 champions for the fights they're being used for, I do believe that his unique abilities with crazy regeneration, awesome poison damage, I think it's just a really good base ability kit, and I do think he'll do a lot in the game's future. So, now that that's done, I do think that there's a big jump from 6 to 5. I think the top 5, no one was even close. Like, these are clearly the top 5 champions, and no one could possibly make an argument, in my opinion, for anyone else being in the top 5. These are just the top 5, period. So, or at least to me, it's very, very obvious. So at number 5, this is one that's going to hurt me because I love this champion. This is literally my favorite champion in the game. But I do acknowledge that the 4 champs above are currently at least better champions. And that's Sorcerer Supreme. I picked her from my Abyss Nexus, trying to get Doom, but she was my condolence reward, and I'm actually very happy with her. Took her straight to rank 3. Unfortunately, she has not seen as much use as I hoped, although I am currently beating... Well, technically I'm tied because I haven't gotten the solo for this week, but if I get the solo for this week, then she will be ahead of Tigra for how many fights in Summer Pain she can solo. But yeah, Sorcerer is a great champion. Massive special 3 damage. The L2, I've seen it crit for like 45, 50k. Awesome damage in the Fury phase. By the way, when she's awakened, that becomes even more potent, so it's even better. Perfect block in the armor up phase. Longer stuns, of course. And then she also has the Power Steal. Passive regeneration. She regenerates 90% of block damage when you have a passive regeneration on yourself. Armor break, slow. She just has a lot to her. She's a champion that I don't think is the number 1 option for any fight other than Red Magneto on Boss Node or Path 9 Section 2. I think she is objectively the best counter in the game for all 3 of those fights. I don't think she's the number 1 option in the game for anything else. There was one Summer Pain fight I think she was number 1 for, but she didn't complete any objectives, so no one put her in their tier lists. But yeah, Sorcerer Supreme, incredible champion that I really hope is going to get more and more use as the game continues. So, now we will go on to a champion I do not own as a 6-star, but I do own as a 5-star, and that is going to be Tigra. So I know there are several people that consider Tigra the number 1 mystic in the game, and I just don't agree. I've seen the gameplay, and I will agree that what she does, if she is at least reasonable as a counter, she is the fastest option. With a few exceptions, like Venom in Summer Pain. Morningstar was the fastest, although Tigra was a solid option. A lot of bosses. Apocalypse boss, she's the fastest option. Tarek's boss, I think she's fastest. Namor might be a little faster. I honestly have not seen a rank 3 Namor take that fight yet. But yeah, Tigra at number 4. The reason I don't have her higher is this is going to be controversial. People are going to hate on me. I'm in the Tigra chat. I'm trying to learn to use her, and I'm going to get ridiculed for saying this. It's my honest opinion. I don't think she is worth the time to learn. The other champions that are comparable in the difficulty and the time it takes to learn them are Quake and Ghost. And I think Quake and Ghost are easier to learn, but harder to play. And so like what I mean is, if you get yourself to a level where you're confident with them, they're still gonna be a little harder to use. I'm saying this horribly. I'm just gonna stop talking. Basically, I think Tigra is not worth all the difficulty and all the time that it takes to play her at such a high level. Although I am acknowledging, if you put in that effort, she is a phenomenal champion. But even all those bosses I mentioned, Tarek's boss, she's not the best option. Apocalypse boss, she's not the best option. Gilly is, for that boss. Someone else is better. Cable, I think, is the best for Tarek's bosses. But that is number 4. Now, number 3, this is kind of this is a champ I have both 5-star and 6-star. This is a champion that is in a conditional 3rd place. This is going to be Morningstar, and not use items info. And let me clarify. Morningstar with 5 souls is the best mystic in the game. No one is close. She wrecks everything. She's the best incursions champion in the game. She is a very good war attacker when ramped up. You use her in quests. You use her in Act 7. She is a awesome champion. By far the number 1. Better than number 2. Better than number 1 when ramped up. However, since I will acknowledge that ramping her up is a little bit annoying if you bring the Guillotine Synergy or the Gilly Synergy, you only need 2 fights to ramp up, so 2 special 3s. But just because she does not get her full power until the end of the 2nd fight, and then every fight I'm going to drop her 2 spots. So Morningstar as a base champion, number 3. When ramped up, by far number 1. By far. Okay, number 2. Another champ I do not have as a 6-star. Luckily, I have like most of these champions ranked up though, which is why they're on the list, I guess, because a lot of people do. And this is going to be Clairvoyant. So Claire is a great champion who I'm not going to call triple immune because she's not. She's immune to 1 debuff, and she can cycle that immunity. That's the best way to put it. She is not useful in fights where you need more than 1 immunity at the same time. And she is an awesome champion. She's got reliable power gain from using the debuff against someone who is immune to the debuff. She's got power control, where she steals the power on her L2 in poison mode. She's got awesome healing when you use the L2 in the bleed mode. And she's got crazy L2 damage when you use it in the prowess mode. You can also use heavy attacks or special ones to get a bunch of the debuffs for whatever phase you're in. If you need her for like diss track or something like that, she can do that. And when you use the special 3, if she's awakened, she has the death immunity, so you can tank special attacks. Like if you're about to die, if you're facing an enemy that's about to get to an L3, you're at your own L3, throw yours, and you'll survive theirs. And yeah, she's just a solid champion who's also great for incursions. Now, number 1, obviously this is Doom. Doom is the best champion mystic in the game, other than ramped up Morningstar. He just does a lot. He's a prestige monster. He has the highest attack rating in the game. I believe that's still true. At least it was true a while ago. But this video is getting way too long. So I think I'm going to just end it here, but I'm just going to do a quick recap. So I'm going to go from 14 up to 1. So it's Mephisto, Longshot, Hood, Mojo, Dragon Man, Man-Thing, Symbiote Supreme, Magic, Diablo, Sorcerer Supreme, Tigra, Morningstar, Clairvoyant, and Doom. So yeah, that's going to be my tier list. If you guys want to see me make it for another class, I will. I already made one for Mutant, but that was before I had even thought about making tier lists. So yeah, I will make another class if you want. But that is pretty much going to be it. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye.